Windows. So my friend got me this laptop, and it's from, I want to say around 2008. And he wants me to, let me open this up. He wants me to get the files off of this laptop. And you know, this isn't his laptop specifically, it's his grandma's, or Nana if you must. And so she wants him to get the files off of this laptop, and so that means that he wants me to get the files off of this laptop, which, you know, I'm fine with doing. The problem is that first off, it's not on the operating system it's supposed to be. Second off, it's kind of broken. So I should probably talk about that. So, the laptop turns on when it has power, because it doesn't have power right now. But it'll turn on, and it'll show like, oh yeah, here's the startup BIOS, and here's all that. It'll show like a Windows Vista progress bar, and then it'll say, Windows, you know, has ran into a problem, and then it'll like, the screen will go black. But you can still do stuff on that. You can still like access, you know, other menus and stuff to like recover it, or, you know, some other stuff. And we tried that, but it didn't really work. So what I'm thinking is that Windows might actually be corrupted, or it's just Windows being Windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hard drive reader, and I'm gonna hook it up to my laptop, and then I'm just gonna get the stuff off of it, and you know, then we're all, you know, everything's on easy street. I have all the files. I'm gonna give it to him so he can give it to his Nana, and that's step one. That's step one of the process. Step number two. I'm going to try. Well, okay, here's actually step two, getting the charger. Step three, getting it to turn on, and I'm going to install Windows XP on this. So let's actually check the specs of this laptop. Let me just turn this around. All right, so this is a Toshiba Satellite P100. Here's the model number. PSP A3C-SD300E, and it is Toshiba, and it is made in China. As you can see, it's a bit dirty, and here's where the hard drive is. I would know because I took it apart. So that's some extra stuff. It is Wi-Fi certified, which is the important part, because it connects to Wi-Fi. Windows XP Home Edition is what it's connected to. Here's the product key, which obviously probably won't work anymore. This is 2004, but ignore that. It's not real. And then here's another key, and that's about it. You might notice something. This is the battery, and you might notice that there's some tape around it. That is because when my friend used it, it kept falling out, which is a bit inconvenient for a laptop, for the battery to fall out mid-use. And that might be the problem. Just a conspiracy, that might be the problem with Windows. It might have been doing something, the battery fell out, and now stuff is corrupted. Which is one thing I'm worried about, is that the files might actually be corrupted as well. But hopefully, you know, everything goes as planned, and I'm able to get all the stuff off of it. So I'm gonna, after I fix this laptop and get it to work, and I'm gonna use it, with Windows XP, I'm going to do a review on this, and it's either going to be good or not good. So let's look at all the extra little stuff on here. So right here, let's just open this actually. So we have and this is what I like about, all sorts of these different laptops, is that they all have their own like little buttons and stuff. So we have the power button, obviously, looks like to be like a refresh button. I don't know what that could possibly be. A play and pause button, a stop button, and then a forward and rewind button. The keyboard is quite nice, Windows. The enter key kind of comes off sometimes, but it works fine. And as you can see right here, it is designed for Windows XP, but it is Windows Vista compatible, which I think is a lie. So if we look on the front right here, that is an SD card reader. And then we have some headphone accessories and a volume slider and a switch to turn on and off the internet. So if you look on the side, we have a USB port, that port, and then some other stuff that I don't really know what it is. I'm like kind of been confused at what this is. And then we turn it around to the back, we have some holes. I think that's the power cable or the power port. We have Ethernet and a phone port for dial-up, which has sadly been discontinued as of the latter of last year. Some extra older ports in which I would not be able to name them off the top of my tongue. An S-video port and another USB port. Did I mention it was a Toshiba? And then there is, I think, a couple more USB ports on the side, because you can never have too many of those, and a disc reader, which obviously isn't going to open with it off. And yeah, that's all I've gathered so far of this laptop. I'm going to get it to work, and I'm going to be happy that I have gotten it to work. Hopefully everything goes smooth and as planned, because I already have everything planned out in my head of how this is going to go, and I also have everything bad that's going to happen as I do this. Hopefully none of that happens. But yeah. So I'm Placeholder XP. This is my YouTube video and video log number one. Video log number one. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but I'm just going to say it at the end. Hopefully you found this entertaining, and all that other like YouTube junk. Like if you want to, subscribe if you want to. I mean, hey, if you wanna see what I did to this laptop, feel free to follow up on that later. Maybe in a few months, in a month, later this month, next month, Valentine's Day, whenever it happens. It's gonna happen though. All right, bye. I've been sucked.